But I am so happy to see all of you here, and especially so happy to introduce you, Miranda Viscoli, who's co-president with me, but Miranda Viscoli, Gun Violence Prevention in New Mexico, our group here. We're so happy to be part of that group, and Miranda will talk more about that and welcome.
Thank you, Harry. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
So today, but what we did yesterday, which I don't know if you saw the paper, we did our 15th Guns to Gardens gun buyback in New Mexico. It was our 5th one in Santa Fe. We took in 166 firearms. That's a very good buyback. 10 of them were assault weapons. I think 55 were semi-automatic weapons and 41 were semi-automatic rifles. So just when people say gun buybacks don't work, you can say, well, actually, that's not true. And you could just quote me and make it sound like you said it. I'm good with that. And then so today what we wanted to do was we wanted to show you guys how this works turning it into a gardening tool. So, excuse me, sorry. So this year, Don Redmond, where's Don? Oh, Don. So Don's had to put up with me for a week now. That's why he looks tired. So Don is the amazing forger of these gardening tools, and he's going to give you a live demonstration. But basically, everything here is taken from a firearm. So the wooden part is this part of a gun, your stock, and that's put in a, what is it called, Don? A lathe. See, he's the boss. Okay, and then the rest this is all done from a barrel. So we're going to read a quick proclamation, and then after that, we're going to actually start forging. If anybody wants to take a hit, so you can leave and say, I actually helped forge a gun into a gardening tool, which is kind of cool. When are you ever going to say that again? Right. We can do that. We just asked everybody we be super safe and everybody keep their distance. We do one at a time so we're not crowded around because this is very, very hot and very dangerous if we are careful. So we just ask people to do it one at a time. Does anybody have any questions? No?
If you could tell me you were the one that turned all those. Miranda was the lathe operator.
And I didn't take off the finger, I still have them all. All right, so yeah.
Just want to add one more thing about what we're doing here and why we're doing it. Because Isaiah said in the 2nd chapter, to pound feet, swords into plowshares. And that's where Guns to Gardens came from. We are called to take the weapons of this world and feed them into something that's going to bring some healing and bring some peace to those around us. And we think in some small way, we're doing that with great help from the whole community, from this congregation, from the Mexican Gun Violence and all the volunteers there, and all the faith communities that have become involved across the country. It's now a national program. We've had our first National Guns to Garden Day back June 11th. We'll do one in December as well across the country from California to Maine. It's also now in the last few weeks part of the Presbyterian Church USA, our denomination, the largest Presbyterian denomination in the country. They have now approved and adopted this program for recommendation to churches across the country as well. So they can say, well, our denomination says it's okay, we can probably do it. We hope they will. So all those things are happening in support of so many of you and those around us. We are so grateful, and because of you that we're here today. So that's what I wanted to say.
That was very, very beautifully put. Thank you, Harry. This is why you do. And then one thing I did forget to say that's really important. Yesterday's gun buyback for the first time was sponsored by a business. So Fiesta Auto of Santa Fe or of New Mexico actually paid for the gift cards when people were turning in the guns. And that's the first time we've ever seen that. And I think it shows that when a business in a community gets behind gun violence prevention, we can make some serious change. So a huge thank you to Fiesta. You guys should call them and thank them because I'm sure they're getting some grief from the naysayers. And then another one, more party fellows here today that's possible. And I also want to introduce our amazing Mayor, Alan Weber, and our Councilwoman, Renee Villarreal, who is these two have both been huge, huge advocates of gun violence prevention with our group, from the student pledge against gun violence to Guns to Gardens. And a huge thank you to Mayor Javier Gonzalez. He was the first mayor to really fight for making sure Guns to Gardens actually became a program. We wouldn't be here without him, and I know we all miss him very much. And Mayor Alan Weber then took that Guns to Gardens baton and has carried it ever since. So thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Councilwoman and I are going to read a proclamation in a minute, but I just wanted to take a second and add some context to what we're doing right now. It wasn't that long ago that we were all shocked by what happened in Uvalde, Texas. But it seems like a long time ago because it keeps happening. It happens in cities across the country. It happens here when two young men are handling a gun and it goes off and a life is taken. It is a national tragedy that we see handguns, weapons of all kinds, taking lives as opposed to being used safely and as an instrument of peacekeeping rather than destroying families and lives. After Uvalde, I called Miranda and said, we've got to do a gun buyback program. Again, we've done 4 and now 5. It's always a partnership between the police department and Miranda and Harry's group to make sure that it's well represented. And every time one of those gun buybacks happens, literally hundreds of guns are taken off the street. And the kinds of guns that people bring in are emblematic of the kind of problem we have, because they're not shotguns for people to go hunt with. They are weapons of destruction. So we are very grateful to New Mexicans Against Gun Violence. We'll continue to work with you. We're exploring a city approach because we are constrained by the state constitution from doing more than what the state does. We are capped from what we can do as a local government. But we do have the opportunity, depending on this most recent Supreme Court decision, we have the opportunity to say no guns wherever school children have a lesson or a gathering. And we're going to work on that. I need your support to push that forward. And we need your support at the legislature to change this constitutional prohibition so that local governments can do more than what the state government is willing to do. We know we can do a lot more if we work at it together. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you again to you both for the leadership you've consistently shown us. This problem is not going away until we make it go away. With that, Councilwoman, let me give you the mic and then we'll read a proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. Buenos días a todos. Good morning. My name is Renee Villarreal, Councilwoman for District 1, and just really honored to be here this morning. Miranda just set a little tone for me, to emotional tone, because I was thinking about the process of what we're doing today, this demonstration. It is a healing process. I think people that are able to pound in something that has had such traumatic effects on so many people and their lives in New Mexico and Santa Fe and across the country. It's just one example of a way that people can feel like they can heal. So I'm just happy to be here to be able to have a moment where people can reflect and heal. The other thing is, I do think, just thinking about former Javier Gonzalez is, he's here in spirit because we had a lot of events with him and he was a champion for this. We have a lot of events, I felt like, fundraisers also for New Mexico to prevent gun violence, New Mexicans to prevent gun violence. So I think it's just, I feel him. I know he's here in spirit and he was such a champion for that. So I just wanted to make sure to say that. The other thing is we're here, another reason that these folks are being modest, we're here for the demonstration, but we're here to also honor an award that our colleagues here got, that Miranda and and Harry have received that I don't know if you all are aware of. And so it's actually a Peace Seeker Award. And I hope that you all talked about the importance of that. We will describe it in the proclamation, but really that's another reason why we're here today with all of you. It's a very important award. It's significant, and we thought a proclamation will be able to honor that in a small way. So thank you, and we will go ahead and read.
Thank you very much. So, swords into plowshares, spears into pruning hooks. Here we go. You and I'll take turns. And we hope you pay attention because this is very significant for our community and for the peace seekers among us. Whereas the Presbyterian Peace Fellowship initiated the Peace Seeker Award in 1970 to give well-deserved recognition to those who have made a serious commitment to working for justice and peace. And
whereas past recipients of the Peace Seeker Award include Reverend Dr. William Barber II, architect of the Moral Monday movement and the Poor People's Campaign, and Fred Rogers, creator of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And
whereas Miranda Viscoli and Reverend Dr. Harry W. Eberts III, co-presidents of New Mexicans to Prevent Gun Violence, were named as recipients of the Presbyterian Peace Fellowship's 2021 Peace Seeker Award, which was presented virtually at the 2022 General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church Peace Gathering in Louisville, Kentucky in June. And
whereas Reverend Dr. Eberts, pastor of Santa Fe's First Presbyterian Church, has been an active and dedicated representative of the All-Volunteer Board of New Mexicans to Prevent Gun Violence, a statewide nonpartisan nonprofit organization that represents a cross-section of New Mexicans focused on preventing gun violence for the safety of children, families, and communities. And
whereas Miranda Viscoli has dedicated the last 9 years of her life to grassroots mobilization, promoting reasonable gun laws and educating the public about gun safety and the high emotional and financial costs of gun-related violence against children and adults. And
whereas Miranda Viscoli and Reverend Dr. Eberts accepted this award on behalf of all the committed volunteers and supporters of New Mexicans to prevent gun violence and those whose lives have been lost or affected by gun violence in New Mexico. And
whereas deep thanks and gratitude go to Miranda Viscoli and Reverend Dr. Harry Eberts for their activism and for exemplifying the values that the Presbyterian Peace Fellowship Peace Seekers Award honors. And
whereas many residents of the city of Santa Fe and numerous other New Mexicans are grateful for the important work that they do with people across the country who work for justice and peace, inspiring others to get engaged in preventing gun violence.
Now, therefore, I, Alan M. Weber, Mayor of the city of Santa Fe, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim Sunday, July 24th, 2022, as Miranda Viscoli and Reverend Dr. Harry Eberts Peace Seekers Day. Let's hear it for them.
Thank you very much. And I just saw our Vice President Paula McLean over there, who we're getting this award, but our board works 24/7. So this is their award. Paula was there yesterday in the hot sun, carrying guns back and forth for 5 hours. So it's not just us. It's Paula McLean, our Vice President, and all our other board members and our volunteers. Lori Frey is here, who spends so much time with the students on helping them when they're having a rough time, when we're doing programs about gun violence prevention, because she's a social worker, knows how to do that. I don't, so thank you. And we really appreciate all of you are passionate about this. So let's make some gardening tools.
Yay!
I've got a hold of this one right now. It's fine. Oh, we'll let them beat on the longer barrels, not the stuff. That's the general idea of how to take it from the barrel, cut around, using the barrel as a place to stick the handle in. That's why it's going to be right. Here's what's going to happen. You can have this hammer. Yeah, no, two people can do it. Okay, so grab this hammer over here. And one can stand here and one can stand here. I may have to keep it up because it's taking a little bit of time. But here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take this, and then I want you to go ahead and then you okay. Hold on. All kind of time. So that's cherry red. Start. I'm going to hold it. Then I'll tap it. There's sand in here. The tap is the sand is tricky. So what's going to happen is I'll pull it down. I'll hit it, and you hit it where she hit it. Okay. And we'll do that until it starts getting warm. So the reason I have so the reason I have sand in this box is a lot of times blacksmiths put every time you strike this, shock like this. To get the so here is the heart of the handle, so that's where I'm going to place it. So I'm just going to go here. You can hit it really hard. Okay. As hard as you can. Good job. Yeah, good. Watch out, it's heavy duty. Okay, so look, this is the center line of the strike. But I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on there and also strike it. You follow. Okay. Bring it above your head and try to hit that and not the handle. Oh, yeah, I see you. Well, I don't want to put it in. Oh, okay. All right, only got a little bit of time until it starts pulling off. Okay. I'll give it our best shot. I'm not a big great, but let's try it. You go first. I'm going to straighten it out. Go ahead. Make progress here. Yeah, go.
Miss.
Come on in. Strike while the iron is hot. There you go.
Oh my God.
Let's hit the steel. Okay, hold on.
How fast you try?
Heat it up. Don't hang. This is, remember, the center line of it is here, right there. Go ahead. You go. Thinking you're gonna cut. No, she's in front of me. We're doing this in a regular order. I knew a guy that could play music on the anthem. No. Music to sports spot. Yeah, just like listen to bells. Yeah. Okay, time out. Gotta heat it up again. All right, well, come on, I took your turn. Place for you to the next railroad. You're on target.
Is that good?
You're on target.
What did I have for you?
Oh, thank you.
Of course, but should I try my big screen?
All right. Hit the steel. Hit the steel.
Are you gonna strike?
Okay, so hit it
Like it's serious about it.
somewhere right there. There you go. All right. Like railroad work.
Can you imagine doing this for more than 5 minutes?
Actually, how we did the railroad.